Good afternoon, Gary.
Oh, good afternoon, Rich.
How are you? How's things up in Riderwood?
White,
White, yes,
white, white.
yeah. The whole Northwest here has gotten pounded pretty good. I certainly woke up to a backyard full of snow around I don't know 7:30 this morning, um, and it's supposed to do this again on Thursday. So I guess we have one day in between that we can run around, do some grocery shopping, whatever, and then sit back and enjoy the a hot cup of coffee and some nice music and something to read. And you know,
Well, we've
life's not
been
so
this
bad
way
that
since
way.
the day after Christmas.
Uh, yeah, yeah, we
We've
have.
uh, we've got probably about 10 inches of snow in the front yard.
Really, and you're at about 500 feet or something,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, yeah. They said it was going to come down real low. I think I'm pretty close uh, to sea level here. I'm right close to the river, but we still got it good. I think everybody did. So,
And
and
we've got
speaking
snow
of,
plows. They've been keeping the street
oh, that's nice. See, I
plowed
don't we
here,
don't we don't
but
have
they
those.
put the windrow in front of our car, on the
Oh,
side of our car.
that's not good.
Well, we got four-wheel drive. We can get out if we have to.
Yeah, yeah. I we don't have a big enough infrastructure here to keep the snow off the back streets. So they only do the major throughways. And so I'm at the bottom of a hill in a
Yeah.
residential neighborhood. It's really hard for me to get out of here. Um, so
Well, we're
but
on 506, the interstate highway.
oh yeah, yeah,
That's why we get it.
yeah. That's right. That's right. And it's easier to take care of Riderwood than it is Vancouver, Washington.
Yeah.
you guys you guys are a little smaller than we are here. So anyway, well, speaking about bad weather, it sure was a storm that took us by surprise last weekend,
Oh
huh?
boy.
I wanted to start with something, Gary, and see what you think about this. Took a look at what Sports Illustrated said we had to do um, to win this game, and they said a few things. They said continue to force Houston to have turnovers. Um, Neutralize that pass rush because in the last game they were, the game before that one they had a really stout pass rush. Um, it says Shanahan needs to trust Garoppolo, and what they said was, when he's operating in rhythm, it's okay, but this guy, and I've said this all season, um, uh, Sports Illustrated is saying that maybe they need to go no huddle to keep Houston on their heels because they've got a pretty good defense. They said unleash Brandon Ayuk, and they said play Trey Lance. Matt Miyako, the 49ers beat writer, told Sports Illustrated that the players are rumbling and that some folks within the organization are really starting to grumble about getting Lance some playing time. And that was surprising to me. Didn't realize that because, Shanahan has backed Jimmy all year long, but this last game, all of a sudden they're saying, hey, Shanahan needs to trust him and maybe they should play Trey
Yeah,
Lance.
that kind of grumbling has been going on all along. And
There has been nonstop, especially with the fans, right? But when Matt Miyako comes out and says it, and it's got a whole different sense of urgency to it. I think I really
Well,
like that guy. I think he's the best.
if that's
49ers
what you think of him, I don't think that much of Matt.
Yeah, really.
I like
Yeah.
Greg Papa better, and I don't care much for his touchdown call.
Yeah. Well, Greg Papa's a better basketball coach or announcer than he is a football announcer. He's been the Warrior announcer for like 30 years. So what do you think? What do you think of this last game against the Titans?
Well, I thought all of the teams let us down, both the special teams, defense, and offense.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just Jimmy. The rest of the offense Kittle had probably one of his worst games.
Yeah, he did.
And
Yeah,
that was just shocker.
Yeah. Yeah, he dropped some passes that were right there.
And that one pass that Jimmy overthrew to Ayuk stopped. And Jimmy, and he even said afterwards, he thought he was going to continue going. If he hadn't have stopped, he would have caught that on the run.
Yeah. But then let's go back to the throw to Juice. Juice is just standing there with 20 yards between him and the end zone. Nobody would have come close to him. And Jimmy threw that thing 10 feet over his head.
I'm curious as to why he turned around.
He was just waiting. Jimmy was moving around in the pocket trying to get open. And he finally got open and he tossed it. And he just overthrew. That was a sure touchdown. That changes the entire game if they make that one reception.
Well, you could do that with the interception in the end zone too, if you want. If you want to play that game.
Yeah.
And if the defense would have stopped that last drive where they just walked right down the field, it's like we didn't have anybody out there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
they
would have, could have, should have.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there was a huge play in that game was the one that you kind of talked about, the AJ Brown. He's in one-on-one coverage. They're in third down and long. By the way, they made it on third down and long 8 out of 10 times in that game. But they're in third and long, and Brown, who we weren't even sure was going to play, he was questionable. Boy, did he play! I mean, he scorched the Niners all day long. But that 42-yard gain in the fourth quarter, and 4 plays later, he catches an 18-yard touchdown pass. That was brutal, and that's on the defense. You're right. Certainly not on Jimmy or anybody else. That was some ugly defense right there, boy. What do you think?
Well, I think that the lack of time between games really caught up to him.
I do too.
The traveling, a combination of both the traveling and that, the defense looked good, but they didn't look like the defense that we usually see out there.
They looked tired.
They're like there was a gear missing.
Yeah, no, they look tired, and they should have been tired. And I think that shame on the NFL, for doing that to teams. That's rough. They threw those Thursday night games in there just to make more money, but they're killing these teams, especially once they have to travel like that. So I don't know.
Well, enough beating them up. Do you have an offensive player of the game?
Yeah, Debo.
Yeah, we're in total agreement on that.
Yeah, he had a huge game, and the thing about it was he was hitting the line when he was running, and the Niners' offensive line wasn't holding. And there was that one play, I think it was like 3rd and 13. and he got the first down, and he just muscled his way through 6 guys.
Yeah.
I went
He
back and
voted.
watched that one, and he was just throwing elbows and pushing guys out of the way, and he got the first down. That guy's really something. And it's unfortunate that he probably won't be in the MVP conversation this year, but he clearly should be in the MVP conversation this year.
Wilson had a pretty good game too.
Running,
Yes.
yeah, he did look okay. And
He was
Ayuk,
busting them up pretty good. He doesn't get the long runs.
yeah, and Ayuk had a nice touchdown reception. That was a really nice catch.
Yes.
And I thought he played okay. I think he's been playing better and better and better every week. I think Shanahan had no faith in him first half of the season, and I think he earned that. But I think since then, they're watching him work out, and Shanahan continues to talk about how good he looks in practice. But yeah, I think you and I are certainly in agreement on offense. What about the offensive line? I know you watched that real closely, Gary. What did you see?
They just look slow. And
Trent Brown had a bad game.
They did okay.
Trent Green, I'm sorry.
They weren't anything special, but they weren't a swinging door. They
yeah. But like on 4th and 1, inside the 5-yard line, they decide they're going to go for it. 4th and 1. I mean, they're it's a quarterback sneak for a touchdown, and Trent Williams jumps offside. He moves, and now we're back, and now it's 4th and 6, and we go for it, we miss it. So we just killed ourselves. I think the Titans played respectable at home, and certainly coming back the second half was big, but I think we beat ourselves up as much as they did. So.
Yeah. I think rather than getting beat, we actually beat ourselves.
Yeah. We lost the game. We didn't get beat, right? So it was tough. We needed that game too.
Yeah.
So now we really need to win out.
Now we really got our backs against the wall.
Yeah, we do.
So who's your defensive player of the game?
You're going to like this. How about Ambry Thomas?
Oh, interesting. I thought he did a really good job.
He had a great game.
But I'd give it to Tart.
Give it to Tart. I can't argue with that.
I thought Ambry Thomas showed us that he was worthy of that 3rd round pick.
I think so. I mean, he had a really nice game. There was that deep one to Julio Jones. I mean, you go deep to Julio Jones, you're going to get burned, right? And he broke it up. And that was 1-on-1. I mean, he was up on the line. He followed him all the way down. He kept his head on a swivel. He looked really good. He had 5 passes broken up. And when they went to his side, he covered really well. And he was in for Mosley, right?
Yes.
So I was real happy with that kid. It was nice to see him have a good game. So did you say Tart was your player of the game?
Yes.
So what'd you see?
Well, he was everywhere. I mean, he was everywhere doing just about everything.
Yeah.
He broke up passes, and I just love the way the guy hits.
Yeah.
He just throws it all out there, man.
Yeah, he can really smack them. Yeah, I mean, Kwan Williams and Jimmy Ward had good games too. I complain personally about the defensive backs every week. This game, those guys had a really good game. Everybody back there did. Even though Brown completely burned us. I mean, the guy's a complete stud. He was, Pro Bowl last year. Probably be Pro Bowl this year, but he's been
pretty
hurt.
fast.
But man, there was no stopping that guy. There just wasn't. When a receiver's hot like that, what do you? So that fourth quarter, though, that 3rd and 10 conversion that we talked about, man, that was embarrassing. Embarrassing to the 49ers defense. So, well, I don't know. We could beat this dead horse all day long. But, bottom line is we didn't do enough to win that game. I think you're right about the travel and the short week. I agree 100%. So we're still okay though.
Yeah.
Right. We're still okay.
And I think we'll be better down the road. We made some mistakes. We can fix those mistakes. They're all fixable. None of those mistakes are not fixable. So I think we'll be okay.
Yeah. I think so too. If New Orleans loses this weekend and we win this weekend, then we clinch the playoff spot. So big game this weekend. And when are you going to watch it?
Hopefully the Heathen.
Oh,
depending on the snow.
On the weather, that's right. We don't have
Shirley
to say
doesn't
that
like
too
to
often.
drive in the snow.
No, nobody likes it.
And well, we do have 4-wheel drive, and she doesn't have faith in it like I do.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we'll have to see, but everything that I've seen says it's supposed to be in the 40s on Sunday. So
that would be awesome.
I think it would be, and I'd look forward to seeing you at the Heathen Brewery and on Washington and downtown Vancouver. Look for the address at the end of this. And
I think it's time to put this one in the history books, Rich.
I think it is.
Because without a past, you don't have a future.
That's right.
And boy, we got a future.
Yeah, we got a future. We got a past too. All right, Gary, that sounds like you're taking us out of here. So
okay.
All right, man.
Bye, faithful, and go Niners.
Go Niners.